in the suburbs, and even when I was working, you go from the house to the car, you know, and here I'm on buses, trolleys, subways, so I am rubbing elbows with all the people in Philadelphia, and I love that. My name is actually Virginia Ann Lauderhan Gallagher, but I go by Jenny. I am 76 years old. I'll be 77 in June. I owned a house in Weehawken with my daughter, and I had always wanted to move to Philadelphia, but there were always mitigating circumstances. When I made this choice, like that day, I said, yeah, no. And then the next day on my way to work, I said, what's holding me back? You know, we can sell the house. I can move down there and be where I wanted to be years ago. So that's what got me moving down to Philadelphia, which is the best move I've ever made in my life. Philly, besides the historical part of it, you know, there's just so much more interesting things that you can do. I had a job before I moved down here because I had been in dietary as manager and directors of dietaries for nursing homes and hospitals. And I wanted to continue to work. I didn't want to retire at 66, you know. Then it was like, holy moly, I am down in Philadelphia. And I said, what am I going to do here? Temple basketball has helped me a great deal a few times in my life. In '92, my daughter Jeanette came down here to Temple, and I started getting a little bit more interested in Temple. But it was 2 years after that, I believe, that my son BJ went to Rutgers, and he invited me to a game at the Rack. And I watched the game. Of course, I knew everything that was going on in basketball, but I saw John Cheney get so mad at this one player that he took off his sweater and he started beating him with his sweater. And I said, what is wrong with that man? Oh my God, I couldn't stand him. And my youngest son said, look into him, Mom. You know, he's a fantastic coach. He really cares for his players. It's not just about him, it's all about his players. I did. I started watching, became a Temple and John Cheney fan from that time. And I'm glad that I did, because I had a couple things, significant things happening, and it was healing, because this is something that I had of my own. You know, you could say around my apartment. If you look around my apartment, there's not an inch or a room that doesn't have an owl in it. In June, the beginning of June, I was diagnosed with head and neck cancer. They did a test right in the office, decided, you know, that it was definitely cancer. Scheduled the appointment for a week from then, and went under a 10.5-hour surgery where they took out the tumor, but it was wrapped around my facial nerve at that time then. So they had to take out my facial nerve, which is what's left myself the way that I am. Danielle said to me, you better make sure that you're home on this day, you know. And I'm like, where am I going? At that point, we weren't going too many places. But I knew that probably, you know, she said that there was going to be a call. And I picked up the phone, and it was mckie on the phone.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I can't believe it. How are you? How are you? I just read an article about your team this year.
Now, in '92, mckie and Eddie Jones were still playing, you know, at Temple. They were dynamic. They were so good. And I did watch them a lot. And then when I heard he was replacing Dumpy and coming to coach at Temple. I thought that would be great. And to just have him call me, you know. Well, the minute that I got on the phone with him, what I first started doing is talking about his season coming up. And he went right into it with me too. So it was, we never talked about the cancer anymore or anything. We talked all about Temple hoops. So that was a thrill for me. I think that the main thing is like, kind of like a Jimmy V thing, is don't give up, don't ever give up, you know. I will continue to go to Temple games as long as I can. There's very few that I miss, you know. I don't think that anyone who meets me for more than 3 or 4 hours doesn't hear Temple come out of my mouth. So, and I live now in a senior citizens building, and I hope to be on my own, independent, for a good long time. And as long as I am able to get these little legs going, run over to see Temple, see my children. I've been very privileged. I've been blessed. I know people throw that word around a lot, but I truly have a lot of faith, and I really feel like my life has been so spectacular, and that I have truly been blessed with everything that has gone on. And that's about it.